to MotoGP, the Austrian Grand Prix, and it was an amazing race. Josh Burch with me, and of course, you were calling the race on your channel. Probably one of the most exciting races of the day. And of course, this was the first race of the day because we had also Formula E as well, then NASCAR. But the lead battle we saw between Martin, Pecco Bagnaia, Marc Marquez, Quartararo, hovering around third and fourth. But then once that rain arrived, oh man, we had Mir, Brad Binder. They made it a six-pack battle. But then everyone picked except Brad Binder. He goes out there just slowly trying to maneuver that bike on slick tires in the wet, and he does it. We all know if there was one more lap, Pecco was going to catch him. He was passing everybody on those wet sails. But Joshua, great race, no red flags considering it's Austria. In the second year in a row, KTM wins here. Your thoughts on that race today?
There's a little post-it note in the commentary box just alongside the bus mixer, and it says calm. And it says if any one of us get a bit over the top or one of us needs to say something, we tap it. And let me tell you something, Megan was tapping that constantly in the last couple of laps. My voice was going ultrasonic at the end of that one. She even stopped at the last lap because everything was going off. We had an interesting start procedure as well. Finally, we had a great start for Jorge Martin. Didn't get the wheelie off the line. And then it started raining. We had the white flags immediately by the time we got to turn 3. And it caught me and Megan by complete surprise. A dry Moto 3, a dry Moto 2, and the rain just came out of nowhere. So the white flag means you're allowed to swap bikes. It's a flag-to-flag race, effectively, which means it won't be a red flag in between for the rain. And then, of course, every now and then the monitor and the box was saying it was light rain at this part of the track. We saw then the white flags with the red X being waved around. And then, as you say, everybody came into the pit lane with 3 laps to go because the rain came down so heavily as well. A flag-to-flag race, as I said, means that you are allowed to come into the pit lane, change bikes, and it removes the need to stop the race. Didn't stop Jorge Martin or Fabio Quartararo trying, coming out of the Burch curves before into Rindt, which had turned 9. Their hands came up as well. They were desperately trying to stop the race as well, to end it, because they thought it was too bad. And then they came around the last corner, and every one of them came into the pit lane. Marquez came in as well. Bagnaia up there as well. Quartararo, Jorge Martin in there as well. And guess who went through? Aleix Espargaro went through. And then Brad Binder had the lead of the race. And we all thought, oh, okay, he's going to probably go down as well. He's probably going to throw it away. He somehow managed to keep it on. I'm honestly thinking, is he Jesus Christ? He managed to keep it on the tarmac. Now, let's not forget, Austria is a very dangerous circuit in the wet for motorcycle riders. In fact, so much so that last weekend when we predicted thunderstorms, the riders said that they weren't going to race. They were going to boycott it. It started raining now. We saw how treacherous it is with Marquez dropping off at turn 1 in the wet track conditions as well. And we've got Brad Binder out there pushing as well. He ended up 12 seconds ahead of Aleix Espargaro. And he was pushing, setting quick lap times as well. He was 2 seconds faster than anybody else on the track, even those on the wets as well at one point, until the last lap when Bagnaia sort of got everything together again. But honestly, he was walking on water. Unbelievable job today from Bagnaia. KTM fantastically winning again at their home circuit. Last year it was Miguel Oliveira winning as well with a last lap maneuver. This year it was Brad Binder with, to put it nicely as well, balls of steel to keep that on the motorcycle as well. A fantastic achievement. And it was all I could do in the commentary box to stop streaking like a dog as well, because honestly, fantastic. We had Marquez crashing out, coming back in, finishing 15th. We had Binder winning it as well. There's just so much to talk about. I don't think I've got over it. And as you say, it was the first race of the day, and it was a great way to kick it off as well. The only good thing is, you say, no red flags.
No red flags. It was just crazy. And for KTM to get that win, last year, of course, Miguel Oliveira with Tech 3 got KTM a win on the last lap pass. The excitement level we saw from that team this year, the excitement level, boy, it was just there. And I see our comment, Amber missed the MotoGP race. Definitely try to find it on YouTube or somewhere, because it is something you won't believe. The race, it was just insane. And then, of course, Quartararo, with all this insanity going on around him, comes home in 7th place. Sounds like a bad race, but considering Zarco, the leading title contender, crashes out. We saw Marc Marquez get around him, crashes out. Miller, he was one of the first people to get on the wet bike, nowhere in sight. Despite 7th place finish, does it feel like a win considering how the race went and how everything, especially with his Yamaha Vinales teammate, it all could have been a distraction, but to come home 7th and a bigger points lead, I say that has to almost feel like a win for him.
Oh, definitely, it's going to feel like a win. I completely agree with you there, Joe, because troubled week for Yamaha, and he won bike out there as well for the factory squad, and it was up there, wasn't it? In fact, I think just before the lap they were coming in as well, Quartararo said, okay, it's do or die, and he sent up the inside of Jorge Martin and Bagnaia and Marquez 4 abreast into that dangerous turn 3 as well. Me and Beckham were hyperventilating in the commentary box. He did run wide as well when Marquez went off the track and lost a couple of positions, but fought his way back up there really well. So absolutely, this is a big, big, big win for them as well, especially with the others sort of dropping away. It's closed up the title fight now, as you can see. Look, 47 points to Mir and Bagnaia is the gap as Quartararo leads 181. That is great news going into the next couple of races. Do you remember what I said a couple of weeks ago on the show as well? If Quartararo doesn't win this title, it's the big own goal as well, because he's got everything there to win it. Speaking of Jack Miller as well, you mentioned, Miller surprised me. I was desperately looking at the timing screen when the rain started to fall on the last couple of laps, thinking, where is he? Why is he? He's down in 17th. How's that happened? The problem was, I think when Rins and Miller came in, the rain wasn't actually as bad. So they heated up their tyres a lot more. They become like chewing gum and get stuck to the track a lot more. So I think their wet tyres were pretty much dead when they got back round. And then Bagnaia, as you pointed out as well, what a run as well. And Jorge Martin coming back. They were 9th and 10th. And honestly, with 3 laps to go, it was a big gamble to change over to the wet tyres as well. It paid off at the last sector as Bagnaia got through onto 2nd place at the last corner as well. Valentino Rossi almost having his 200th podium in the Premier class as well. That got so close, but he was passed by his brother Luca Marini out there as well. Marquez going down on the deck cost him more big time as well, because as me and Megan were talking in the box as well, Marquez, he would, where Bagnaia ended as well, he was 12 seconds off, but Marquez would have been right there at the line to pass Brad Binder. So it would have been a photo finish at the line, but Marquez would have caught him. So he's thrown away a race win. But then he said on his Instagram, I'm here to race in dry conditions. I've got no interest in winning wet races. Yeah, right. He won Germany in mixed conditions. So, yeah, it's been another great day. It's definitely going to feel like a win for Yamaha and Vinales. And if anything, it's more pressure on Carl Crutchlow, who moves over to the Yamaha team for the British Grand Prix, which is very strongly rumoured, has yet to be confirmed, but it's sort of like the worst kept secret in the paddock right now. He's got big pressure because he's going to have to bump up with Vinales. He's going to have to bump up Vinales' teammates as well and help out Quartararo a lot more. But yeah, I think the best way to describe today's race as well, Amber, considering you missed it, imagine a fire eater as well, not only a fire eating in the mouth, but putting up the nose and their ears as well, and every other hole in the mouth, and then just catching fire completely in the last couple of laps as well. It was like a slow burn as well. Everything exploded. Everything fantastic happened as well. And definitely, they've been calling it the race of the century for MotoGP. It was okay. It was fantastic at the end, but the race of the century for me still belongs to that Assen race in 2018 when it was just constantly changes. But this is a very close second. A fantastic end as well to the race. And roll on Silverstone, British Grand Prix, because mixed conditions at Silverstone always comes as well. We're going to have another classic, and this is shaping up to be one of the best seasons we've seen in MotoGP. And I thought last year's was good.
Yeah, last year was really exciting. MotoGP always puts on a good show. One of my favorite races of all time has to be when they were at Indianapolis for the old road course. A lot of great racing. And of course, Fabio Quartararo, as you mentioned, leading 47 points over Pecco and essentially Zarco. And then with only 7 races left, it looks really strong. And the big thing when it comes to our ratings for MotoGP, you can see there, essentially it is Juan Mir. His consistency is paying off to where he is up in second place now. Of course, this is our at-home grid rating. The next race, as you mentioned, for MotoGP will be at Silverstone.
Don't be an anonymous investor. Join the stock market social media platform public.com. Invest any amount of money and share with friends and new friends. Discover new opportunities such as new companies and potential business partners and useful tools for beginners, and share your experience with friends on public.com. Link in the video description gets you $5 for being a Grid Network viewer. Use the referral code GRIDnet for your free $5 to invest and start investing and networking on public.com.